Conducting a high-ticket sales campaign the hard way. To learn the ropes about anything, it's usually recommended to learn things the hard way. In other words, you go through a whole checklist of items, you pay your dues, and then after you are very familiar with the process, you start optimizing. You keep that up until you come up with a streamlined system that is very different from what you started with. At that later stage, you are able to do things faster, more efficiently, and at less cost. Still, you have to go through the initial stages and basically stumble around, make a lot of mistakes, and feel your way in the dark, so to speak. This is how most people pay their dues. Unfortunately, this is also doing things the hard way. I'd be irresponsible if I did not go through video 7 and video 8 with you, because this is how high-ticket sales campaigns are normally done. Unfortunately, for the vast majority of marketers who go through this process, they get chewed up and spit out. They end up failing. Still, I need to walk you through this before I reveal the secret sauce in video 8. To learn the ropes, you have to pay your dues and do things the hard way. Step number 1, pick a high-value niche. Go to Google Keyword Planner tool and look up the keywords related to your niche. Look up their cost per click value. This should give you a general idea of the value of that space. Now, please review the discussion in video 1 regarding niche valuation. Make sure that the niche you pick is a high-ticket sales niche. Often, things are not what they appear. Step number 2, develop a high-value brand in your target niche. Developing a high-value brand takes quite a bit of work and time. You must put out tremendous amounts of content and check the actual behavior of people interacting with your content. Do they click through deeper and deeper into the guts of your website? Or do they just click through a piece of content and then they bounce right back out? To develop a high-value brand, you must first focus on your winners. These are pieces of content that attract a lot of traffic from the internet. These are pieces of content that push people deeper and deeper into your site. Here's the secret. To build a high-value brand, you must focus on content that engages your target audience members. It's very tempting to think that this is just a matter of popularity. When you look at your statistics, whether it is Google Analytics or StatCounter, it's tempting to just go with the pages that get a lot of traffic. But you have to dig deeper than that. You have to look at where people go. Are people going to content that speak to the needs of high-ticket sales customers? Or are people just getting information, drilling deep into your site for more basic information, and then leaving? It should be obvious to you which you should focus on. Do not just replicate your strongest pages. If those strong pages are not about high-ticket sales, ditch them. Focus on pages that have a high-ticket value or appeal to high-ticket value customers and are also popular. Build on your strengths. Scrap the rest. Step number 3, distribute content that filters your customer segments. When you build different pieces of content on your website, you use this to filter people based on whether they are your target high-ticket sales audience members or not. You should do the same with content that you share or post throughout the rest of the internet. At this point, I'm assuming that you already know the basics of content marketing. You share content in the form of comments, blog posts on third-party platforms, as well as logger posts and curated material on social media platforms. All of these condition people to go to your website. Your content on your website then serves to filter them and eventually convert them. That's how you play the game, or at least that's how you should play the game. It's really important to make sure that even that outer ring of content in your high-ticket sales niche filters your customer segments. In other words, you don't want tire kickers or people who are just looking for information but are unwilling to pay anything to even hit your website. Why bother? They're a waste of time. I know that sounds rude, but it's also the truth. Because you're trying to create a system that converts online traffic into a lot of money, you do not have the time to mess around with volume traffic that doesn't go anywhere. This is why you need to distribute content that filters your customer segments based on these other platforms. This way, only people who are truly willing to pay good money will end up on your site. Step number 4, make it easy for your audience to find you and keep in constant contact with you. When I say your audience, I'm talking about high-ticket salespeople. I'm not talking about generic information seekers. Forget those. Make it easy for them to find you. This means create social media profiles, identify hashtags on Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter that are directly related to your niche. Filter people on those platforms, and then get them to go to your website and convert them. In this context, conversion means getting them on your mailing list. This is how you keep in constant contact with them. Step number 5, send high-value content that segments your mailing list. Send high-value content to your mailing list, and then allow people to segregate themselves by joining sublists. At this point, there will still be people who are just looking for information. They will be in the minority, but if you don't manage this properly at this level, they're going to take a lot of your resources. You don't want list squatters because services like Aweber charge you money for the total size of your mailing list, regardless of whether they buy or not and regardless of how active your list is. What if a significant chunk of your mailing list are just squatters? You're losing money monthly. Don't do it. This is why you need to send high-value content to your mailing list and get people to sign up to a sub-mailing list. When people do this, you know that they are looking for high-ticket sales material. They are people who are serious about eventually spending a lot of money. For everybody else, you can purge them off your list. Step number 6, filter your filtered list between buyers and tire kickers. This is where the rubber meets the road. Send a $1 offer for some sort of basic PDF report you made. You may even compile some blog posts and sell it in a $1 PDF. However you want to do it, segment people in your high-value list into 2 camps, buyers and information seekers. Give the information seekers one final chance by setting them up with a 5-day update program. If they don't convert to your buyers list within that 5 days, they get dropped from your lists totally. The key here is to get rid of tire kickers and information or freebie seekers using low-friction sales. Step number 7, scale up your filtration with increased friction. Friction in this context involves people spending increasing amounts of money. Your buyer's list is tried and proven only to the point that these people are willing to pay $1 to be on that list. You should then further segment that list by sending opportunities that cost more. Maybe you go from $1 to $20, then from $20 to a couple of $100. Keep ramping it up and prepare them for the big sale. Just repeat the process I have outlined above to get them ready for that big sale. Don't drop the big sale offer in the beginning. You can use it as a redirect offer. When people buy, they get a confirmation page, and that confirmation page would have that big offer, or at least talk up the big offer. This is how you play the game where the longer people stay on your mailing list, the more value you build. Step number 8, give your buyers list what they're looking for. Your buyers list members are basically looking for assurance. Give it to them in the form of high-value content. Give it to them, believe it or not, in the form of filtering using ever-increasing sales pages. And take good care of them. This means making yourself available in terms of customer support. You build a community around your buyers list.